So who am I? My name is David Caller, and I'm a fashion designer for almost a decade. I've done New York Fashion Week. I've scaled to over 300 plus retailers. I've worked with some of the top celebrities like Gunna, Young Thug, Shawn Mendes, Post Malone, and more. And today, I really want to show you guys how I got to where I am today through teaching you guys. I'm going to learn exactly what kind of designers are out there, and maybe one day we can potentially collab or even invest. So today we're going to start with how I built my fashion brand worn by A-list celebrities that made me over 8 figures per year. Now, if you look in the screen right now, you can see here, this is some of the retail shops that I've created and I've set up. Again, I was in 300 plus retailers, right? So for me, it was very difficult to grow it to that level. But the good thing is that now that I know how to do it, I literally can show you exactly the steps I took to get to that level. Now, just to make sure, there's a lot of people out there claiming they did this or that. I got to make sure I have receipts for everything, guys. So today, before I start, I'm going to show you some of the sales that we did recently. You can see here, like every minute, 7, 9, 10, 11, like literally getting sales by the minute. This is not by accident, by the way. This is literally a whole strategy that I've created that works really well. Here, for the month of May, you see 1st to 31st, right? $1.5 million, guys. That's in 30 days. And it's not hard if you know the strategies. You can see my hat right there. It says caller. And then here's some more sales on the right. Now, so if you're starting your fast brand, how big can you actually get? Okay, so for me, I've gone it to almost all of my favorite celebrities that ever wanted to wear it has worn it. For example, we have Young Thug. I'm gonna show you a quick video here. This is him in the club wearing my jacket. This was what, 295. You can see here me and him hanging out backstage. So that was a cool experience because I really liked him as a rapper. Then we have Shawn Mendes, literally wearing the same sweater that I gave to Young Thug, and I became really good friends with Shawn Mendes as my career continued. He invited me to his birthday party in New York a few years ago. So here's a video of that. And then as we go down, we have Gunna, and this is literally him backstage and me backstage, and I'm literally throwing all these pieces on the floor for him to pick, and then he's wearing it on stage, as you can see here. So and this is the backstage. And then it's funny because like when I was making this presentation, I'm like, I need to find those jeans, and it was on Grailed, guys, for like 4.95. So it kind of blew my mind because I shop at Grailed because all the cool brands are on Grailed, and the fact that I was able to find my own brand on Grailed, guys, was cool because Gunna was wearing it. And then you have another shot of Gunna wearing it here. This is a famous resort shirt that I created. You can see here, he's about to.
Yeah, Jim John, she take five.
That's him wearing it there. He's wearing the full fit. And then here is literally Tory Lanez. It sucks 'cause right before he got locked up, he was wearing the stuff with Taliyahu. You can see on the left side, I'm in the studio with them. They literally invited me to the studio, and I'm dressing him up for his face. You can see a little Uzi beside him. He's also. I think this is Rolling Loud. Yeah, so basically, the list goes on, right? This is Christian Guzman. He's a alpha elite, so this is more like an athletic uh CEO. And then we have Steph Curry over here. He literally wore it for like 5 games straight, which is crazy. When he's playing the Raptors, he wore it like back to back, guys. It was insane. He wore the leather jacket. He wore the resort shirt. And then we have DJ Snake. DJ Snake recently just wore my $800 jacket on stage, and he literally like as soon as he posted that, I literally sold out in the jacket. So I just want to show you like the power of what it's like to have it on celebrities. Chris D'Elia, he's a shot of me and Chris D'Elia when he came to Toronto. Me and him actually at each other on iMessage. We're texting back and forth. I was giving fashion advice. He was wearing my new Western shirt. As you know, Western was very big. And these graphic tees literally sold out. Ariana Grande was wearing the product for a new music video with the guys. So just so you guys know, like as you're building your brand, celebrities will start hitting you up, and as they're hitting you up, your brand will continue to grow, and that's what happened to me. Now, I've kind of showed you the different celebrities wearing the stuff, but the most important thing, guys, is earning disclaimer. You're probably like, what the heck is earning disclaimer? Now, truth is, I'm gonna be very real with you, okay? Unless you put in the work and you actually try to do the things that I tell you to do with the steps, not everyone's gonna make money, okay? You're only gonna make money if you're willing to put in the time. I put hours, guys, like hours upon hours, like close to 10 years of my life into this blood, sweat, and tears. And today you get to know a lot of my biggest secrets being revealed just so we can potentially collab and maybe invest one day. Now, the most important thing is, yeah, maybe you think I got lucky because I'm special, but I'll tell you something, guys. I'm not special. I just put in the work and you guys can do it. I'm going to show you exactly how other people were able to do it as well. Now, you're probably wondering, how much can you actually make doing fashion? Now, I've dabbled in drop shipping and different things, but I'm going to tell you right now, the most important thing, guys, is fashion lasts forever. Drop shipping is you do it for a few months and then you close it down. Fashion, you can do it forever. If you look at Ralph Lauren, if you look at like Gucci, Louis Vuitton, Off-White, Fear of God, all these brands are a lifetime, okay? And that's why I really do believe in fashion being the best business you can do in this day and age. Now, in terms of profits, let me just break it down how easy this can be, guys. So, for example, I surveyed over 1,000 brand owners because I've worked with a lot of brand owners. Um, some of the best products you can sell are hats, t-shirts, and denim. The reason why is because the margins are so good. So, for example, a hat costs 750 for a hat. Now, at 750, usually you could sell a hat for around 120. That's about $112 per hat. Now, just to keep it simple, as long as you sell 74 hats per month, you can literally make $8,000 in profit in your pockets, guys. And in a year, guess what that is? 100K. That's just the minimum, guys. I've seen brands make way more, but like just the minimum. Imagine selling 74 hats a day. You can make $8,000 in profit. You literally can just change your life overnight. And that's what happened to me. And then for let's do a graphic t-shirt. Why I like graphic t-shirts is, there's a lot of brands doing the same thing. Like if you make a basic tee, 5 different brands can have basic tees. But if you make a graphic t-shirt, you can copyright that. And guess what? No one else can get that graphic shirt except for you. And that's why it's amazing. And that's why I love fashion. So for example, a graphic tee costs around $12. You can sell it for roughly 140, and that's $8,000 in profit. And all you got to do is sell 65 t-shirts a month, guys. That's 100K a year. And then lastly, I love denim because denim is a good investment. A lot of people like to buy denim because you can wear it over and over and they last a lifetime. Now for denim, let's just say it usually costs around 28 bucks and I can sell it for 180. So these are the numbers I'm giving you based on what I do, right? In terms of what I sell it for. And the profit is around $8,000. If you sell 55 pairs of jeans, you literally can get close to 100K a month. Now imagine you sold hats, t-shirts, and denim. Now you're making close to $300,000 a month, guys. Or sorry, $300,000 a year. And then if you add on hoodies and jackets, so I want to show you, it's so profitable. Fashion's the only thing with that much margin. If you look at the margins here, it's insane. With dropshipping, the margins are not the same as fashion. It's way, way more. We're talking about like 60 to 80%. Dropshipping is tight margins. And then if someone copies you, guess what? You're a dead fish in the water, right? So you want to make sure the way to go, it is fashion. So again, let me just go down here, guys. So 82% of the world have never really made over 100K. And it's really actually impossible if you break it down backwards, like I just showed you, knowing exactly how many hats to sell a month, how many t-shirts you need to sell. And if you work backwards, it's going to be much easier for you. Now, until I discovered e-commerce, I wasn't able to make a lot of money. One of my years, I did close to $17 million and I profited $4 million. So it's a great business and it's possible to get the numbers I have, but it takes a lot of work. So I just want you guys to know that. Now, here are some of the customers that bought my products that are fans. So if you look here, if you look very closely here, guys, like Henry Ma, for example. And by the way, I didn't hide the names because I want to show you these are real screenshots, right? Everything here is all real. So Henry Ma bought a whole order for $573. Arjun bought an order for 648 and Wes Whitlock bought it for 692, right? And they literally liked the brand so much they posted on their story. Here's some more orders I got. This is Elbert Cruz, $473. Tommy bought 560 and then $348 from your teacher in. So it just shows you guys like once you build a cult like following, they're gonna come back and they're gonna order big, right? So this is the business I love to be in because it's super exciting right now. Um, so you're probably wondering, did I come from money? Truth is, guys, I actually immigrated from Slovakia to Canada, and I literally had no money in my pocket. My mom was a single mom. English was actually my second language. I didn't know how to even speak English, guys, and I learned it when I moved to Canada when I was like 6 or 7. And there's a point in my life, like I literally was like eating the same thing every day. I sometimes didn't even have enough money to take the bus. And I'm not sure what your situation is, but the truth is like no matter where you are, you potentially could change your life, but you gotta put the work in, right? And you gotta believe in yourself. Because at the end of the day, you have one life, guys, and you might as well live the life that you want to live because you only get this one life at the end of the day, right? So there's you might as well live the life that you really dream of doing. And guess what? Even if you don't make it, at least you know you tried. And that's what's important. That's how I always live. And the last thing is if you look at my bank account, there's a point in my life where I only had like $400 in my bank account, right? So I was able to turn that around and really change my entire life. And I know you can, but again, there's nothing special about me. It's I had the persistent, I had the passion for it, and I was willing to put in the hours. Now, my dream was never to be a fashion designer. So you're probably like, oh, but like I'm not a fashion guys. My dream was to be a football player, right? If you see this picture here, that's me right there. I look a bit different, but I was playing football, ended up getting a concussion, lost my memory, couldn't I woke up, forgot everything that who I was, what year it was, and like literally changed my life. And then one day I was like, you know what? I think I'm gonna start a fashion brand. And then I tried a YouTube, but the problem is it took me years to get to where I am because I didn't know, I didn't have guidance. And that's why I wanted to make this video. Um, but your life can change. So I went from, playing football in school and not having any money. And last year, I got nominated for the best menswear designer for CAFA uh, award, right? And I was competing with some of the biggest brands like Spencer Badu, who's a huge designer. He just did he's in Essence. So like I was competing with some of the best brands in the world, and the fact that I was nominated and I came from nothing, it's possible to do something yourself as well. Okay, guys, nothing is impossible in this world. And then I did crazy parties like pop-ups. So I'm gonna show you some videos of the pop-up shop. So check this out.
Just like through the zone. Not talking LeBron. When I say I'm in Cleveland, go victory is a stove.
Right? And then you can see like so even had lineups, guys. Like when I had pop-up shops and like events, look at this line I had. So this is all possible, okay? I want you guys to know the reason I'm showing you this is not to show off that I did pop-ups and like it was crowded. It's because you saw where I came from and you saw what I was able to do. And there's a formula to all of this, okay? And you're probably thinking, oh, I'm special. The truth is I'm not special. Look at this brand. His name's Nicola, right? This is one of the brands I helped. He has a brand called Bomber Clothing. And Bomber Clothing, in 30 days of me helping him, he made over $343,000 in gross, guys, and then 207K in net sales. And then over here, if you look to the side, Nicola, that's him right there. He got the product on Lil Skies, Bryson Tiller. He also had huge lineups. The reason is because he used my formula. It wasn't because it was by accident. There is a formula to it, guys. I'm going to show you a quick video because I've been talking a lot. I want someone else to speak about their experience of using my strategy. So just listen for a sec.
It helped me to, let's say, structure my business. So it has a really a lot of hacks that can help you, like some tips and tweaks. And yeah, I mean, since then, we grew our business on 200,000 euros per month, which is great. And then it helped me to run my first ever runway show, which will be placed in May this year. So yeah, thanks for that. And yeah, I mean, the most thing I wanted to learn about was like B2B business, like which means like a business to business to sell to retailers. And now we can grow our brand to 33 retail stores.
Wait, I'm just gonna pause that for a sec, guys. Did you see what he just said? He grew his business to 33 plus retail stores from working with me. A lot of people think the only way is through e-commerce, is through like ads and online sales. Just so you know, I made my first million just through retail. Now, no one in this industry, I haven't seen one person talk about retail. And that is literally the hack. And he started scaling because he got into retail first and then he did ads after. So that's something I'm going to talk about in a second, right? I'm going to stop this for now because I don't want to waste too much time on just this. But working with me, he got to 33 new stores. He made an extra 200K of income. And I even helped him get into his first runway show, right? You can literally look him up on Instagram, on his page, and you can see the runway shows and see his brand for yourself. Now, I'm about to start with everything, but stick around to the end because we're still giving you a free gift worth $1,000 plus. But first, I need to show you everything so you know how to use these gifts I'm about to give you, okay? So, you're probably wondering, why did I even start this at the end of the day? The truth is, there were many reasons. When I first moved to Canada, I was very insecure, right? I was very poor, didn't have any money, and I think a lot of people can relate. Everyone has insecurities. I know I did. And one of the most insecure thing I had was that I couldn't celebrate. Sorry, I didn't get gifts for Christmas and certain events because I didn't get the luxury to have those things. So I came here very broke. Now, just because you're dealt with crappy cards doesn't mean you can't change your life. I believe you can have the shittiest cards and change it, but you just got to have a vision, have the right mentor, and have the right skill sets, and you can get to where you want. So, why did I start this? It's because I want a financial freedom. I want to be able to travel anytime I want, anywhere in the world I want. When it's cold in the winter, I can leave. And for those that follow me, in the winter, I try to leave all the time. And that was one of my bucket lists that has come true. I'm able to fly anywhere in the world and have financial freedom. Number two is it's always lonely building a brand. And for me, I like fashion because every fashion brand you look at, there's a community. There's a community that you can build for fan base and you can build events and pop-up shops like you saw in my video. I also want to see my product on shelves. The feeling you get, guys, when you walk into a store and you see for me, it was my last name. I saw my last name on a shelf. I get to touch it and I'm like, holy crap. And like my friends would go and be like, wait, your stuff's in Saks and Fifth? Wait, your stuff's at Simon's? Your stuff's at Foot Locker, Foot Action? And it's a great feeling, right? And then the next thing was like, I want to travel the world, which I just mentioned. And the other thing was I wanted a business that would last forever. Fashion, like I said, guys, is a business that can literally last for the rest of your life. And that's why I love fashion because it's not like dropshipping where you just start it and you have to start a new one. That product dies, someone copies it, you got to make a new one. You're constantly remaking. This is a one-time thing, guys. You make one product, one business, and it's there for the rest of your life. The security in fashion is probably the best security you can have in any business. And last thing is I wanted to be recognized and I want a celebrity network. I used to watch these rappers or NFL players or all these people that I'm like, oh, I wish I could meet them one day. And guess what? When you build a brand, every celebrity needs clothing for events. Actors need it for red carpet events. So automatically you will be connected with celebrities if that's something you're into, and it's gonna grow your personal brand as well, right? So in this shot, you can see I've done a few things, packed events, New York Fashion Week in these pictures right here, um, Forbes. I also spoke in front of thousands of people, helping other people. And some of these techniques, what I'm about to teach you is huge because there's a company called LVMH, okay? If you ever heard of LVMH, it's a fashion house that carries a lot of big brands. And the secret that they're hiding from everyone that no one even knows is that they focus on retail. A lot of the big brands that they carry is under LVMH are actually doing a lot of retail business, right? Everyone's rushing for ads and like TikTok shop and all that. It's great. Don't get me wrong, it is great, but they're all rushing for that. And there's a little niche area that no one's touching. And guess what? That's where you're gonna come in. And that's the techniques I'm gonna show you just now. And you're probably like, but like, is fashion actually even profitable? Can you actually make money? Guys, you know the founder of Zara knocked out Bill Gates and become the richest person in the world a few years back? And now in the US alone, in 2025, it's a $365 billion industry. And in 2028, it's a uh, dollar, $390 billion industry. It's going to keep growing, and that's just in the US. And I'm about to shock you right now. We're just talking about US. But remember, fashion is such a broad category that you can sell it to the entire world, right? So if we go into the world, it's in the trillions, guys, right? Like 2025, if you look here, it's 1.8 trillion, um, which is insane, right? So there's so much money to be made. You just got to know the techniques to how to make it, okay? And if you look at the transition from boomers to Gen Z, right? So if you look here, a lot. This is basically a map showing how many boomers and are retiring. So you can see all the big like brands that you know, like Zara, etc. A lot of the boomers are retiring, and this is if you're a Gen Z or you are even a millennial, and even if you're older than that, if you have the power to put in the work, this is your time to shine. All the big old brands are kind of like getting older and retiring. This is where you're going to shine. And the one thing that Zara can't compete is personal branding. And this is your time to really outshine everyone by using some of these techniques, okay? So I'm about to show you the techniques right now. So stay tuned. Again, stay to the end. I'm going to give you some gifts that's going to help you with what I'm about to teach you right now. So I call this method sell and stock method, right? So you're probably wondering what that is. So basically, sell and stock method is what got me into 3-inch plus retailers and distribution, right? So you can see here, this was a distribution company. I was with 3 different distribution companies. The distro did Lacoste. They did a brand called I Love Ugly. They did a brand called Zainro. They did a brand called Fred Perry. The list goes on, right? So they were the distro company. And basically, I'm going to show you some videos of the products. So here we go. This is the some of the my stuff in stores. You can see here, that's my jeans. This is literally last year. Here's another one I'm going to show you. You can see here. That's all my graphic tees and hats branded. And then this is literally a warehouse because we're shipping so many products, guys. You can see the warehouse here, the video of the warehouse, right? So those are all boxes full of clothes, guys, right? So basically, sell in stock method is basically a method where you can sell to hundreds of retailers. So if you look here, this is literally the different stores that carried my brands. Here it's showing like 984 orders. The list is actually bigger than that because not everything is on here. But I'm using an app called Brand Boom. You can see, look at the sales, guys. We're talking about 18K, 7K, 27K, 900, 29K. The list goes on. I'm literally just dragging this down like 6,000, 9,000. Dude, this is all the money you guys are missing out on by just focusing online. Look at how much money was made on just the retail side, right? So until I discovered business to business wholesale, the industry secret that only the elite knows. Okay, guys? So basically, if you look here, this is a screenshot of a store called Simon's. So they have a few locations in Canada, I think Vancouver as well, and Montreal. But look at the order size, 44,000 and 35,000 for one season. And there's about 4 seasons in a year. Now, this is a guaranteed income from retailers with orders as big as 35K to 44K per season. And per year, this store gives me about $160,000 per year. Now, why is this so good? Because when you do online e-com, you're ordering 100 units, for example, let's just say, and then you're going to run ads and cross your fingers that this is going to sell. Now, with wholesale, it's different. You're going to make a few samples, okay? And the samples can cost 60 to 70 bucks, which is like buying shoes, like which a lot of, I know if you're into fashion, you're gonna buy shoes, but guess what? Those shoes aren't gonna actually make you money. The samples will. You're gonna buy samples from the factory. You're gonna take these samples, and what you're gonna do is you're gonna show it to these stores. They're gonna put an order in. Once they put an order in, you can then have guaranteed income because you know exactly how many units they're going to buy from you, and they're not going to return it. It's their job to sell it, not yours. So it's like the best strategy for guaranteed income. And let's just say they paid you 160K for the year. Now, if you get a few of those stores, you can make your first million of guaranteed income. And as long as you stay consistent with your content, you stay consistent with the quality and everything else, you're going to constantly have the same income every year. So the security involved is huge, right? Compared to crossing your fingers and hoping that ads actually make you money, right? So it's a way different strategy. So as you know, for example, if you look here, this is Simon's, what I was just talking about. So there's Collar, there's my brand. Always got to show receipts, right? And there's Represent. You guys probably know Represent, the brand. So I'm literally sitting beside some of the biggest brands, right? Here's another video. I found this the other day. Someone posted that they're shopping my brand in Saxon Fifth. And they literally recorded the video and they tagged me. So it's a pretty cool experience there. And then more department stores, etc. Right? Um, and you know, the crazy thing I'm about to show you right now is the big retail deals. So here's a screenshot of Foot Locker that made a deal with me. And here's an email screenshot as well, so you can see all the receipts. But they did around, I think, $30,000 order with me in my first order, right? The $30,000 was really good because that opened the door to one store. It was in Canada. Now, if you do well with that one store, guess what happens? They're going to open 5 more stores because they have tons of stores. Now, the 5 can go to 20 to 30. So with just one store, you can hit your first $1 million. That's why this strategy is so good that no one ever talks about, right? Here's another video. I'm going to show you one more before we go to the next part. You can see that was Fear God. There's purple denim. There's collar denim right there. You can see right there. And then you'll see Palm Angels. So literally, I'm sitting beside the biggest names, guys. We're talking about like Represent, Fear of God, Essentials, Purple Denim, Amiri, Palm Angels, Rude, Represent. The list goes on, right? So I understand how this works. And the thing is, when you're sitting beside these brands, people are going to associate your brand with being high end because these brands are high end. And that's all the psychology behind it, right? And that's actually a strategy on if you want to be luxury, you need to be sitting beside luxury brands. Now, here's the benefits with this method, okay? So number one is you get consistent monthly sales. Number two, you'll get big bulk orders. Number three, you get brand establishment. Number four, as you get bigger orders, the cost of goods go down. So you essentially make more money. So the factories, when you go, hey, I want to make 100 pieces, and then next year you want to make 1,000, they're going to drop the price. That means you get to make more money, right? The retailer's job is to teach your sales rep to push new brands, promote them. So guys, just by being in the store, the retail stores want to make money because they just bought a bunch of inventory. They have to sell it, right? So they're gonna tell their employees, guys, caller just came in the store. We gotta push this brand, guys. We gotta make sure that everyone that's actually walking into the store that you're promoting this brand. We need to move this brand. Guess what? That is the best promo for your brand because all these customers, each store has their own fan base. Now, those people that buy from that store is also going to buy from your online store. So your online store is going to pick up as well, right? Which is huge. And the last thing is once you get the contract, here's the best part. Your mind's gonna get blown for a sec. If once you get the store to sign the contract, there's actually companies out there, which is called factoring companies, that will pay for your production. So literally you put no money down. You're taking zero risk and they're gonna pay for your collection, which is huge, right? And then it's very safe and reliable based on revenue. And then you can spend it to more social media marketing after. Okay. So um as I'm building my retail stores and online stores, to get into New York Fashion Week like I did, there's some important rules, right? One of the rules that they ask you is how many stores are you in and what kind of sales are you doing and what kind of celebrities are wearing your stuff. And that's how they vet you to be in New York Fashion Week and Paris Fashion Week, right? And that's how I got into Paris and New York. Here is a video off my computer. Right before Virgil Abloh died, I was actually in the same roster as Virgil Abloh, right? So if you look here, New York Fashion Week, right? So if you looked here, there's Virgil Abloh right there. And then there's Collar, right? So I literally was sitting beside some of the biggest names. And to be honest, Virgil Abloh was like one of my favorite designers. So that was a huge deal for me. So if that's something you want to do down the road, it's super possible, but you got to make sure you focus on retail and you got to make sure you focus on online as well, right? So here's some more student success stories. You can see here, Look, he did close to 62K increase there. I get these DMs all the time, guys. 3,000 to $7,000 daily. 281,000 on Black Friday, right? Obviously, there's a mix of retail and online mixed together, but that just shows you how powerful this is, guys. Like, I literally can show you a list on my phone of screenshots of people getting their lives changed from this type of secrets I'm revealing today. And then let me show you Joseph, who owns a brand called Anex. He did $52,000 in sales and got into a store for my method. So I'm gonna show you quickly this video.
We did we did 52,000 in sales in April, which was our best month ever so
Dude,
far.
that's huge, man.
31,000 of that was online.
Yeah.
And then the remainder was through wholesale orders, and then our
I'm gonna pause it again. Look what he just said. Wholesale orders, guys. I keep telling you, like, until I talked about this, people don't know about this. They don't know any better. This is literally the way to do it, guys. And Hudson's Bay is a huge store in Canada, and he got into all these stores with the method.
in-store in the Hudson's Bay across Canada.
Nice. And
Found out about you. I've actually been following you for. Then I got onto your.
Right? So I obviously helped him, and then you can see here. Let me show you this part. So this over here is him uh in the stores. He posted that. That's his brand name in all the HBC. That's his website. So like no matter what industry you're in, it's super possible, guys. So here's some more screenshots I'm gonna show you. Like literally he posted this the other day, and it's literally a screenshot of all the different sales that he did. So check this out. Make money from anywhere. Gotta love the internet. What I tell you, you can travel. If you know the strategy, you can travel, make money anywhere. Look at this guy. Like, this is, I recorded this the other day because I'm like, I love when I see people winning, right? And then he used some ad strategies to even make more money just through ads. You can see the messages here. Those two ads are killing it for me. And then here's some more shots. Let's see. So this is called Triple Whale. So he made over $1,300 a day in profit. And here's a screenshot. He sent me this. Been doing this daily, bro. Glad to have a mentor like you. Here's his ROAS. Look at 6 to 5 times, which means like if you buy something for $1 and you sell it for 6 times, that's what 6 ROAS means. And then here's a screenshot of him just being super excited. I love when I see students like winning because I'm like, yeah, like this method actually works, right? Here's some more success stories. 87K here. Here's another brand, Michelle that I mentored in the past, Cali G. Again, like literally, like just want to say thanks, Dave, for the info, broad targeting instead of interest targeting. I've been doing blah blah. So the list goes on. Another brand here is called Nama Clothing. So they did 172K in 1 month, guys. This is a woman's athleisure brand. So Nama Clothing harnessed the potentiality of my singular approach, integrating the organic Instagram and TikTok traffic strategy, which I teach them in my program. And this method includes the competitors' paid ads and insights gathered from them. So I hit 170K in just 30 days with this technique. Shane has gone to do over $1 million plus, right? So this is his brand. I showed him some organic, some ad strategies. You can see here, look at the different views he's getting. So just you can listen to him talk really quickly, and then we can move on to the next lesson.
Right, I had to jump on here and give a shout out to my boy David Collar. The information that he has, the advice that he's put into this program has helped me immeasurably with my clothing business. I would have still been stuck at that same level that I was at if I hadn't sought out somebody to give me advice who's been through this before, who's built multiple brands in our modern age. It is so difficult to find somebody who's done this, who's achieved the level of success that we all want with our clothing businesses. I can't recommend his program enough. Go check it out.
Okay, and then we also have this girl is not even in fashion. She has a lash company. She's doing close to $500,000 a year now. And I just want to give you a quick review that even if you're a girl, it's not just for men. It's a very useful technique, right?
My name is Blaze Lloyd. I'm the founder of Lashivo, and I'm one of David's students. I took his business masterclass kind of on a wing and a prayer because I knew that it was a fashion-based business course, and I'm in the lash industry, so I wasn't sure what to expect, but it far exceeded every single expectation that I had ever had. There's so much good information in his course, everything from Excel, tutorials to building email campaigns to naming your brand, like everything that you need. And something that goes and makes this course, above everything else is David's attention to every single one of his students and his involvement. It's actually him reaching out to you, holding your hand, and helping you to build your business. And I think that that in itself is completely invaluable. So I love this course. I highly, highly recommend it to not just fashion business owners, but any business owner because of its insane quality and David's help that he provides every single one of his students.
And then lastly, we have one more guy I'm going to show you. So this guy has a bag brand. You can check it out here.
I just wanted to give a special shout out to David and the whole team. I've had an amazing experience working with them. You know, I'm a big believer in investing in coaching, both on a personal level and on a business level. I mean, why reinvent the wheel when you can just buy wheels, so to speak? So, my business, Monty and Co, has existed for a little while now. We've gone into retail accounts. We have
So again, what I mentioned, retail guys. He got into like HBC and some really good stores, right? So again, these are all strategies. I also helped Greg Gallagher, you might know him. He has over I think like 1.5 million followers now. There's me and him right there. So he has a clothing company and a supplement company. So as you're building wholesale and online sales, you're going to get a lot of PRs too, right? For me, I got into um, Yahoo Sports, meet David Collar, the man behind multi-million dollar luxury brand. Nala Magazine. So right after New York Fashion Week, get to know these 9 New York fashion brands. There's me, Collar, founded by David Collar. WWD, as you know, is one of the biggest magazines. So I got mentioned on WWD as well. And then like obviously like all these different magazines wrote about me, right? Got on Complex when I first started. And then my most recent was Forbes, right? That was a huge one for me. So the reason I like fashion is because fashion is actually going to be staying forever, guys. So during COVID, I thought like maybe I won't make any money during COVID. But the truth is like when people are stressed out, I made the most money during COVID, which was a surprise for me. When people, it's a daily need. When you leave the house to go get groceries, guess what? You gotta put sweatpants on, put a hoodie on. When you go to dinner, you're gonna have to have a nice fit. When you feel sad, you're gonna go buy clothes. That's what I do when I'm sad. I'll buy clothes, right? So I want you guys to know that fashion is staying forever. It's not going anywhere. You might as well get a piece of the action. Why is fashion a good opportunity? There's a lot of emotional, psychological triggers, and that's why it's really good to do this business for like wholesale and for online ads, because if you run the right ads and you speak to the stores the right way, you can really get them to want to buy or purchase your products, right? Um, and then lastly, accessibility and profitability. Like I said before, fashion has the highest margins I've ever seen in any industry, and that's why I love fashion. Look at Amiri, for example. He probably makes his jeans for like $20 and he sells for 1,000. Like the profit is whatever you want it to be. That's why it's such a great business. So the reason I got into fashion is I have ADHD, I'm pretty sure, guys. So like for me, like I will get bored so quick. So for me, if I have something where every season I get to design new stuff, I get to do new photo shoots for the rest of my life, I'm gonna be entertained. I get to travel to different places in the world to do a photo shoot. So if you want a lifestyle brand, this is really for you. You get to build a cult like following and repeat customers. So once you find a customer that loves your fit, they love your shirt, they love your jeans, guess what? Just like you might have a favorite fit of something. You're gonna keep going back to the same place over and over. And all you gotta do is drop a new colorway, drop a new t-shirt, drop a new graphic tee, and they're gonna order it because they already know how it fits and they're already in love. And that's why I love it, right? If you build a core business, this is the best part. Core business is very important. If you look at like Aritzia or you look at Represent, Aritzia, their main sellers are puffer jackets and their sweatpants and their sweatsuits. Represent is their owner's club and their 247 pants. there's certain pieces that you don't have to recreate the wheel. You just keep selling over and over. And if you run ads or if you sell it to the right stores, they're going to keep buying the same product over and over from you. And it's literally you set it and forget it. And that's why building a core business is very important. So like I would say like 60% should be built on, I would say 40%, 30% on core. The remaining should be trendy products, and then maybe 15% of it should be louder pieces for celebrities so they stand out. So the other thing is you're guaranteed sales if you can learn how to spot trends. So if you know how to spot a trend, you're guaranteed sales. So like during there was a season where Western was very big. Everyone was listening to Western music, country music. So I went super deep. Like I'm gonna make Western shirts. I'm gonna make Western hats. And guess what? I made the most money ever with just going with the theme because I understood the trend on time. As long as you understand the trend, which I'm gonna show you some techniques, you can literally guarantee sales for yourself. And that's literally the secret too, right? Niches and scalability. So with fashion, it's great because there's so many areas you can go. You can go streetwear, luxury, athletic wear, leisure wear, workwear, swimwear, eyewear, list goes on. So for me, when I first started, I just did denim. I did really well with denim, and then I opened a new category. If you look at Represent, they started with clothing, then they did fitness, and then they're doing women's. So you can open new categories. So basically, the reason that's so powerful is because let's say you make your first $1 million off just clothing. Those customers are going to shop with you for the rest of your life. So that means every month they're going to keep coming back to you because they like your fit. But now with the same customers, you start selling athletic wear or women's wear. I would say athletic wear or a new category. You're not going to make maybe even $2 million because now you just added more products for them to shop on, and you don't have to find new customers because you already have the customers built previously, right? So that's really powerful. So again, I like to remind you to stick to the end because I'm going to give you a free gift worth thousands of dollars that took me years to build, right? So here we go. We're gonna continue this lesson. We're almost there, guys. I'm gonna keep revealing more gems for you guys, and I'm hoping this will really help you guys, okay? So tapping into a new way of making money through fashion necessities. So many brand owners can't scale or is stuck with inventory. So you might be in this position. If you already have a brand, you might be stuck with inventory. I know when I didn't know what I was doing, I was stuck with so much inventory. And then if you're starting a new brand, you might not know how to sell it properly, so you're stuck with inventory. So that's really important, right? So I'm gonna show you that in a second. The second thing is to fix that issue is you need to understand the secret of ad formula. So created strictly for fashion brand, this technique will not work for dropshipping brands. So there's a whole different technique. I know so many people that hire ad agencies that don't do anything for you. They literally just click a few buttons and be like, send me some ads. And then guess what? You're like, I'm not getting more sales. Like, should I shut down my business? This has happened to me and thousands of other brand owners because I've actually spoken to them, and their major issues, they were stuck with inventory because they didn't know what they were doing. And I don't blame them because you know what you know and you know what you don't know. And basically, they were just hiring random like ad agencies, promising them the world, and they couldn't perform because they don't understand fashion. Fashion is different than any other business, drop shipping, etc. You have to make unique ads that actually sell, and then that's how you get retailers' attention as well, right? So that's a whole nother story. So people think to get started in fashion e-com, you need to be super stylish and you have to understand how to design. And truth is you don't, right? You can look at trends and you can hire certain designers to do it. And I know when I started, I was a football player, guys. I wasn't a fashion designer, right? And then you need hundreds of thousands of dollars to start. And the truth is you don't need hundreds of thousands of dollars to start because you can literally make samples that are like 60, 70 to $100. And then you take those samples and you wholesale it. And then you get a company to pay for it for you, like a factoring company. And so the startup cost is very low, right? Especially if you start with hats or t-shirts, they're very cheap to make, right? So why is fashion better than dropshipping? Well, if you own the brand, the product, and the customer experience. In dropshipping, you don't get to own the product, you don't get to own the brand and the customer experience because all of it's mostly being outsourced. And usually you find someone from China who has a product already. Everyone can take that product and try to sell it. So for me, I don't think that's the way to do it. You want to build a brand that's yours, that you control the whole experience from the packaging to the design to the fit. Everything needs to be controlled by you. And that's how you build a long-term business. Again, profit margins are huge, 50 to 80%, right? Compared to dropshipping, it's very tiny. Customer retention, repeat sales. So with dropshipping, they'll buy like one piece and and then you have to find new customers. With fashion, like I said, if you have a core business, they're gonna keep buying the same t-shirt because they know your fit or the same denim. And then if they already know your company, every time you drop a new collection, guess what? Cha-ching, you're gonna get new sales because every season they're gonna get excited, right? It's kind of like if you and your girlfriend or your boyfriend, whatever it is, if you guys go to a new restaurant, right? You go to the same restaurant because you love the food. And then one day the restaurant goes, you should try this new menu we just created. I know you like this steak, but we have this new steak. You're like, okay, let me try this because I already know your original steak is really good. Let me try this new steak. So it's the same method, right? Once I know the fit of your jeans or your hat, whatever is good, and you drop something new, like I really like this black one, but I need a white one too, right? So the same concept. Um, Scalability. So again, you can scale into retail, wholesale, and global markets, which you can't really do with drop shipping because it's not a real product. With this, you can, right? And it's recession proof and it's sustainable, right? People always buy fashion. It's not leaving, guys. The fashion's been around since the, I don't know, 1500s. I'm making that up, but it's been around for a long time, right? So I know fashion is not going anywhere because, like I showed you in the graph before, it's constantly booming and continuing to grow, right? Also, with drop shipping, there's no real brand ownership. It's a very unstable business model. Low profit margins, like I said, it's only 10 to 30, whereas fashion's 50 to 80. Long-term customer loyalty, people are not loyal. They buy product and leave. Fashion, once they love you, they continue to buy from you. Poor product quality and customer experience. Most of the time, slow shipping, defects, high return rates. You can control the quality, the fast shipping, and good customer service with fashion brands. Advertising fatigue and high costs. So dropshipping relies heavily on paid ads, which keeps getting more expensive, whereas a real brand can grow organically, influencer collaboration, and retail presence. Again, I keep saying retail presence, guys. You grow the retail, everything else will grow with it because the store is going to promote for you, right? No resale legacy value. At the end of the day, if you want to have a nice sellout or sell your company when you get to like, let's say you're 60 and you're like done with fashion and you've built a legacy, you can sell this company for hundreds of thousands of dollars as an exit plan, right? So something I do as well is help brands do that. If they have built it to enough equity, I can help you sell it, right? Because I have a lot of connections. And that's also the reason why I'm building this free course, because I want to see who's out there and maybe I can help you scale your brand or maybe invest in it or help you sell it, right? So it's always a fun like collaboration in that way. So a proven method to making money with winning products, right? So first you need to find winning trends with programs and experts. So there's actually ways to find trends, right? Number two, you want to have assistance with building a core program. So basically something that helps build like a core program for you. So like basic t-shirts, underwear, core hoodies, whatever is your core program. For me, my core programs are graphic tees. They do really well. My hats, so I constantly just sell that, and I have like trousers I always sell and denim I always sell. Um, the best part, guys, is if you like traveling, you get to work from anywhere, right? So here's literally pictures of me traveling in Miami, in Tulum, I believe. This remote work. And then again, you have to know exactly what kind of ads to run. So I'm going to show you quickly, like this is a proven method to make money instantly through calculated ad methods. So here's one of my ads that did really well, right? So look at this. Right. And then look at the ROAS, guys, 7 to 8. Like once you learn the secret, guys, you can grow online and even retail. And then again, like I said, once you know the trend forecasting, this was on my office wall. You can see this was for the fall winter 20, which was a previous picture I found. But basically you can predict 3 years ahead and look, all these items are sold out now, right? So once you have a good trend report forecasting system, you can sell out. And then lastly, you got to attack retailers. When everyone's focused on online sales, you sneak in and you focus on retail. So there's an app called Brand Boom right here. So these are some of the products. You can see this is the wholesale price is the retail price, right? So retail will make money off. So basically your cost to wholesale is what you make money off, and then wholesale to retail is what they make money off. And there's an app called Brand Boom right here. I'll give you some gems right now where you can be the middleman and sell your products in the middle, right? Now, I've been doing this for over a decade, guys. And as you know, everything I explained to you, there's obviously a lot of information. So I'm going to try my best to compress this. So we're going to go to the right to the training now. A to Z training, step-by-step video training, how to scale your brand, exactly what we use in our business, and live training makes you understand. So get ready. We're going to go through this, and I'm going to teach you the secrets that I've learned, right? How to find your market, develop your products, build a high converting store, launch a market brand, and expand through wholesale, right? And then get paid. So, 6 steps to a successful fashion empire. So, here we go. So, the first step is pick your top 3 brands. Why they are different is the market big enough, and focus on high margins categories like hats, denim, jackets, and graphic tees. So, how do you focus on the top 3 brands, right? So, I'm going to open this for a sec. So, you can go on Google. For me, like I sometimes like to go to like blogs so I can see you most like if you hear you have like brands that you like, but you can just go to like a website like this, like High Synobity or Hypebeast, and look at brands that you might like, right? So let's say like Fear God, if you like Fear God. So for me, I think this brand's pretty cool about blank. I already opened this earlier. So this brand has a few products. So once you find 3 brands that you really like, you want to study them, right? So how do you study them? You go in quickly and you're going to just go to shop all and look at like the products they're selling, right? So a lot of graphic tees, okay? A lot of like you can tell the fit's really good, so they're focused on fit. So okay, so I'm gonna be like kind of like a luxury streetwear brand, a lot of knits. This is the kind of brand I'm gonna focus on, right? And so you want to just kind of do research what kind of market you want to sell. Then you want to go on their Instagram, make sure their following is pretty big. So there's do you know there is a market for this and it's not just like you're just guessing. So if I go to about blank Instagram, 366K. So I already know they're pretty big. And then I'll go down to their videos. Okay, they're getting tons of views, almost a million. This is a brand I kind of want to attack if I was starting a clone line. Okay, got it. So once I've done that, is the market big enough? Yes. Did I pick 3 brands? Yes. Focus on high margin categories, hats, denim, jackets, graphic tees. They have a lot of graphic tees and they have a lot of hoodies and hats. So I know I'm going to focus on that. Perfect. Find your market. 2, research winning styles. Look at your favorite brand's bestseller and see if it's sold out. Okay, so what you do is now you want to figure out what you're going to be selling, right? So what you can do is for this example, I'm going to go to Simon's, let's say, just for this example. And I'm going to go to, let's say for him, and let's say this button down for now. So what I'm going to do is actually look at I'm going to follow their email list. So every time they do a new drop, I know exactly when they're dropping. And this is a crazy hack, guys. Basically, what you're going to do is you're going to pick the color and you're just going to do 9999, add to bag, 65, 115, 314, 224, 75. 46. So I know based on how many units they have, I would say 80% of brands can do this. Based on how much inventory they have, you know if it's a popular style. And then in a week, you can check again to see how many's left. And based on how much they sold, you know how hot that item is. Now you can go make your product and then you're gonna add the 3% rule. So what is the 3% rule? So I actually popped it up here for you. So the 3% rule was created by Virgil Abloh, right? So he always thought start with an existing idea. Abloh often drew inspiration from pre-existing concepts, whether they were fashion styles or reference or even the design of common objects. Make small changes. Rather than aiming for a large scale to reinvent something, you're just going to change slight little things. So it could be like instead of trying to perfect something right away, make small adjustments and refine over time. Change conventional thinking and consistency. So 3% rule is like if I made let's say a pair of jeans. Let's say I make a jacket, a trucker jacket. Let's say trucker jackets, people have done leather, they've done this. I'm like, what if I added a soccer idea, like a soccer jersey onto a trucker jacket? It's never been done before. I'm gonna keep the silhouette, but I'm only gonna change by 3% by adding the soccer. So that's the perfect example of the 3% rule. And then if you're able to find winning products, and then you put the 3% rule, you're gonna be very unique and you're able to sell out, right? Um, then you're gonna sketch your idea using our fashion draw pack. So again, remember I told you I'm gonna give you 100 drawings. You're gonna use that to sketch it, right? And then you're gonna measure it. So you can go to your favorite store like Zara, example, and then you're just gonna go measure it. So for example, I'm gonna go into Zara and I'm gonna find something. It could be whatever store. I'm just using Zara as an example, but you can go to Zara and we're gonna pick something here. So let's just say you go to pants. Let's say I want to make the sickest trousers I can think of, right? Um, I'm gonna buy. Let's say I like the fit of this one. Let's say this is cool. This is a good fit. So I'm just gonna buy this in a 32 because my size. And then once I get it, I'm gonna measure it, and then I'm gonna make alterations to it, right? So all you gotta do is let me open this. Um, so here's a quick video, guys. I'll show you.
New pattern swatch.
So this is a video of some of the drawings that you're gonna see. So basically, you're gonna get like different sketches like this, and you can easily just change the color and move it around. So look, I'm clicking it to change the color. And so you can actually make your own designs straight off your computer, right? You see here, I'm adding stitchings. I'm changing the color, removing the pockets, and then I even give you a couple different pockets, right, to choose from. And then you take the pocket and you can drag it in, right? So like here, I'm dragging a zipper into here, right? So you can design very, very easy. I'm adding this pocket into the jacket, right? I got this pocket from here and adding here. It's literally just drag and drop, right? So then once you get this done, um, that's the design for that. Then you got to learn how to measure it. So then you get something called like a tech pack. So this is a tech pack here. So it shows you like the actual sketch, which you can take from the drawings. And then it shows you exactly where to measure. You got to measure from here to here, here to here, here to here, here to here, all the little points, right? And then you're gonna take the Zara pants and you're gonna just measure each part of the pants and then add it here, 16 inch, 10 inch, just for size 32, right? You can change it to 32. And then now the factory can go make the sample. And then like you can see the tags, right? This says core on it. I want to use this fabric. So this is what a tech pack is. It's literally a blueprint of what you want to make. And that's how you will show you how to make a pattern like that. Okay, so let's see. And then you want to find a low MOQ factory. So again, like I said, I'm going to send you a factory list of the best factories that exist. So you want to work with factories, small production runs. And then payments are 30 to 70%. So what does that mean? So usually when you work with a factory, um, once you make a sample you like, you're then going to give them 30% of the production. And then once they have received the 30%, they start buying the fabric and making the product. Now, here's where most people make mistakes. After the 30%, what they'll do is they'll actually go in and just pay the 70%. And then if it ships to you, you might get oil stains, it might not fit right. So don't make that mistake, guys. That's an amateur mistake. What you want to do is hire a quality control team, right? So I'm going to show you quality control team. So quality control team, you can use this one here, Tetra Inspection. So what they do is you would send them the measurements and they would go in when the production's done before you pay the 70% and they'll go make sure everything's perfect. The tags are good, they'll take pictures. I think it only costs like 290 bucks, but at least this way you're not going to be throwing a lot of money away knowing that once the product is here, you're stuck with nothing, right? So very important you do quality control. And then the next thing is you want to get samples and plan a photo shoot. I would say models usually cost around 500 through an agency and 500 for a photographer, or you can shoot it yourself using an iPhone. And then you want to create a mood board, right? So create a mood board. It's quite simple. So I usually go on Pinterest and I'll like type in like different things. So let's say it's a Western shoot, Western fashion men. And I will like go in, let's say I like this vibe. So like I would like plan, let's say I want a street shoot, right? So I'll do that. So here's an example of a mood board I did for my Instagram. So like these are a couple brands I like. So once I find pictures on Instagram, I'll put on Canva and now I know exactly what kind of pictures I need to shoot for my brand, right? So you want to make sure you have a mood board when you're planning that. And then you want to develop your product and then essential content. So this is all the different content you need when you're creating a brand. So first you need a photo shoot content. So I'm going to show you an example of photo shoot. So this would be considered photo shoot content right there. I would use my brand for example. I think So if you go to here, this is like one of my new seasons. This was a Western season. So this is campaign shoots, right? So this is like creating a story, like a lifestyle, right? So that's why it's really important. You can see that. And then the next thing is ad content. So you want to make sure you get ad content. So these are like reels and stuff. So I'm going to show you some good ad content. So this brand, Joel Brown, does a really good job for their ads. So you can see here, this is pictures of the streetwear. Oops. Here's an ad they did. Let's see. It's really in your face and quick. You want to be like 13 seconds, 7 seconds. This is a really good ad too. You can see here, right? And then I open mine. Some of these are my winning ads. So here's a good one that did well for me. Really fast shots. All right. And then for pictures, like this did really well for me because it's just right to the point. Um, Even in studio shots like this did really well for me. Right? And I literally, I'm literally selling so much of these items, guys. I have to restock every month, right? So just as long as you know what kind of ads to run and how to run it, you can do really well. So then once you have your photo shoot, your ad content, then you your flat lays, right? So you're probably wondering what flat lay is. So let me show you. Flat lay looks like this. So you see all this, it looks like it's flat, but it's very consistent. Both sides are identical, right? There's a technique to this, but we don't have enough time today to teach it all. But flat lay is the next shot you need, right? That's what flat lay is. So this always makes your brand look more expensive, right? So that's really good. And then e-commerce content. So e-commerce is basically this. So that's a flat lay. And then you have front, side, back, full body, and then like detail shots. So these are all the shots you need when you're doing your product shots, okay? And then you want to use a really good website theme, right? So I've actually built something that's like 10K worth, and basically the website should be very similar to mine. So you need to be able to upsell right off the bat from here. Like you want to add the hat, done. So now you're selling the entire fit, right? And then the other thing is you want to make sure it's ready for mobile. You want to make sure like they have a rollover effect so you can see the flat lay and on body, right? You want to make sure it's mobile friendly. You see how like it just adjusts really quickly. And then if I go into like here, look, as I scroll down, look, the add to cart's following me. You see that? That's there on purpose. FAQ. I want to make sure that all my questions, how long does shipping take? Get free shipping. All my questions are answered in the same page, right? Want to make sure everything is broken down very organized, product by type, right? So that's really, really important. So a good website you can follow is this. Represent also has a really good one. This brand has a really clean website. And a lot of the features that they have, I have as well. And I think it's very important that you have all these selling features, right? Again, clean layout and mobile optimized and fast loading. And then in terms of like, you know, pricing strategy, you got to make sure whatever you make, you're making at least like 5 times to 10 times in fashion. So if you make a product for $10, 10 times 5 is 50. If you make it $10, 10 times 10 is 100. The reason you want high margins is because you want to make sure that you have room for sales like Black Friday and you have room for wholesale so that everyone can make money at the end of the day. A lot of people will make a brand, but they'll have no margins. And that's why it's very important that you use the right factories. And that's why I'm helping you guys with that today. Step 4, launch and market your brand. Avoid the hope it sells mistake. So 80% of new fashion brands fail because they rely on the new design photo shoots. You need marketing system to get in front of the audience. So a lot of people just cross their fingers. They do a good photo shoot, good design. They're like, I hope it sells. And that's why so many people come to me. They're like, oh man, like I feel like I'm stuck. I can't sell. It's because it's happening for a reason, right? It's because they're just relying on this. They're not relying on wholesale. They're not relying on ads, which is very important. But actually knowing how to do it. Everything you do before you hire an ad agency, you need to understand it a little bit, or else they're just going to take your money and you're going to lose it all. So again, the sales channel. 50% should be wholesale, 50% should be online. So you want to focus on Facebook, Instagram ads, TikTok shop, and retail partnerships, right? So again, I'm going to show you something quick. So for Facebook ads, you want to run Facebook ads like this. Usually if you go down to the very last ad, that's usually the best ad, and that's a good one to kind of like replicate in terms of style. And then you want TikTok shop. So TikTok shop is basically very similar to Facebook ads, but why it's powerful is because um, influencers will take your product and you only pay for the ad once they sell your product. So if you give them 10% commission and they actually sell your product, you only pay when you make money. So everyone wins at the end of the day. So TikTok shop is actually very, very important. So Facebook, TikTok shop, and Instagram. Instagram and Facebook is both run through this platform. And then lastly, what you want to do is brand boom, right? So again, this is brand boom. Um, Basically what you can do is you can upload all your products. You can see here. These are all the different products I have for different seasons. And then now retailers can go in and buy the products, right? And then you can go to, let me see here, orders. So these are just different stores that carried my brand. So if I go to, let's see, marketplace here, this is a cool piece here. So marketplace is Jordan Men's. So now you put your information in and then they take 10% transaction and then you get paid up front. But again, there's a whole strategy to this. You can't just upload your pictures and cross your fingers. You got to make sure the product pictures are good and a few other things, right? So next thing is running ads. So instead of just hiring an agency, you need to understand how to run ads properly because a lot of agencies don't know what they're doing. And a lot of the ads that do well, it's strictly through content, guys, right? You got to know what content to do. Then once you've done that, you want to develop a core collection. So you want to understand what is your core collection. So for, again, like I said, Aritzia's or puffers and sweats represents their owner club tees and 247, right? So if I go to represent, most of their sales are these. This is literally what they make most of their money off. Okay. So they have a core business. So you need to identify what yours is. And then wholesale expansion. So start with a local store for credibility. Use brandboom.com to get into bigger stores. Attend trade shows to network and build relationships. Get a factoring company to pay for production. So basically, you want to scale with wholesale. Just focus on getting the stores in your city. So it's very simple. All you got to do is like really Google best streetwear stores in Toronto. So now you have a bunch of stores here, and then figure out which store you want to be in and then focus on getting into those stores first, right? Then you can go to Brand Boom after because most stores, the bigger ones like Nordstrom's or Saks and Fifth, they want to see that you have other stores so they know you're consistent and you're reliable. So it's very important to get into the stores in your community first, right? And then there's things called factoring. So I'm going to show you what factoring is. So factoring is basically a company that can pay for your production. So let me just pull up where did I have it here? Yeah, here. So basically, non-recourse factoring companies, what are some good factors? So basically, non-recourse, these are some good companies. So basically, what factoring is once you have a bunch of contracts with retail stores, you go to trade shows or Brand Boom, and it's signed, you would take those contracts, give it to a non-factoring company, and they act like a bank. They're like a private bank, and what they'll do is they'll actually, let's say you have 100K worth of wholesale orders, right? And it costs you 30K to make it. So what's gonna happen is for the 100K of orders, you're gonna sell it to this company. So they're gonna own this contract. Then they're gonna pay for 30K out of their own pocket to make these products. Then they're gonna sell it. Once you ship it to them, the factoring company is gonna collect from every store and they're gonna pay you a check of what they owe you. So if they paid 30K, they're gonna deduct that. Then they're gonna take usually 10 to 20%. And then guess what? You're just collecting a check and you put no money down, guys. How sick is that, right? So that's that part. And then once you secure 3 locations, you can approach the bigger stores, which I talked about earlier. So, and then the last part is you want to get paid and scale up. So wholesale provides consistent business while ads scale your online store. Okay, so both work hand in hand. But I made my first million through wholesale. Okay, so I worked backwards and keep reinvesting profits into inventory marketing and improving quality. So avoid getting stuck with stock by testing small quantities first and use wholesale to get price breaks from factories since you can guarantee sales from them. Monitor what sells best, then double down on winning styles. So once you start selling to stores and online ads are working, don't just keep making new products. Yes, it's important to make new products, but whatever is working, continue selling the things that are working and keep building on that. And then anything that's not working, you can cut out. And you can try new products as you scale. And then the great thing is, again, when you start making more money and making the orders bigger, at the end of the day, the factory is going to give you more profit because it's going to cost lower. The more you order, the cheaper it is. You make more online and on wholesale. When you're building your website, you want to make sure you use Shopify. So this is Shopify. This is the best platform. All the big brands are using it. So if you're building a website, you do want to use Shopify, okay? And then wholesale, I use Brand Boom and trade shows. And then yeah, so that's pretty much the whole system, guys. And then and once you get paid and scale up, that's the best way to do it. Now, right before I close this off, a lot of people want to know, like, that was great information, but the truth is, there's just so much more information that I can give you, but I just can't do it all in one session. I know you spent some time with me already, but it just can't be done in one session. So it took us almost 2 years to become profitable. Okay, just to give you a breakdown of what it took me 1 year to land my first wholesale store. My students launched their first product and sold within 2 weeks using my ad strategy. It took me 3 years to get to 150 retailers. It took us over 4 years to get past $500,000. And it took us 4 years to get into New York Fashion Week for free. And at the end of the day, I've built a program so that you can launch and scale even faster. Because obviously, you look here, like it took me a long time to get these things. And I know there's a fast way to fast track. So that's why, for those that are interested, you can actually apply below. But basically, what you can do is I've created a 21-hour module course for you so that you can actually understand even more information. If you thought this was useful, I have way more things I can show you. You get to work directly with me. Again, I'm doing this because I want to find someone that's passionate, that's talented, and instead of just competing with each other, I want to see if I can invest in you, and I want to see if I can collab with you. And even if you're a good designer, maybe I can hire you one day too. There's different ways we can work together, and that's why I'm creating this system, because if you're winning, I'm gonna win too, and that's kind of the goal for me today, right? And that's why I'm doing this today. That's why I'm doing this free training. That's why I'm doing this pitch, because I want to see who's out there and I want to work with you. I want to collab with you and I want to build something with you. And if you're successful, I'm going to be successful with you, right? So it's a huge opportunity for everyone. Um, and again, investment and partnership opportunities. I've already invested in a few brands that are doing really well, and it's very important that I continue doing all these things. Resources, you're gonna get 1,000 retail connections. So all the retail stores I'm in, I will actually help you get those connections. I have their emails, phone numbers, all the big stores that you love. I have all the best celebrities contact lists. So you're gonna get the exact contact list. You get a plug and play business planner, pre-made Lightroom presets. So for the photo shoots, you want to make it look high end through your iPhone and stuff. I have presets that you just plug and play. Cash flow and inventory forecast calculator. So if you don't know how much you should be making, I have a whole calculator with a forecasting system for you. Size run calculator. Now, this is important. A lot of people don't know what size to order. They don't know what size does well. I've done this for 10 years. I know exactly what size to order for t-shirts, hoodies, jeans. So I give you that. So you just put in your item and it'll tell you exactly how much to order. Contracts for wholesale retailers. So I'll show you the contracts I use to get the retail stores, and then sales script. So this is like, there's loose strategies. It's not as simple as picking up the phone and be like, hey, can you carry my stuff? I have techniques that are very unique where um, I can make sure you get the stores in your hometown first, and then we go into the trade shows, or even set up in Paris, Paris, do a pop shop in Paris, which what I'm doing, and then we'll get more stores that way, right? There's different scripts you can use. There's a whole sales script that I use for getting stores, calling stores, and trying to get the buyer on the phone and looking at your collection, right? There's a whole process, and I break that down. So if that's something you're interested in, right, you just got to click below and you can see exactly how I did it, right? Again, I've helped over 400 plus students, guys. sorry, 4,000 plus students, not 400, 4,000 plus students. And I would say like almost all of them are scaling and doing really well, right? And I've invested in a few as well. So if this is something that is interesting to you, just click the link below. Again, like, you'll get access to a celebrity list like this. And there's a few more bonuses. I can't give it all to you today, but like you get access to top retailer contact lists, it'd be like a whole list of their phone number, email, everything. I'll even give you access to like the perfect website. So basically a website like this that actually converts. So Shopify website. So this is a $10,000 website. And you'll get the exact website that actually converts. So if someone goes to your Facebook ad and they click on the website and they don't actually make a sales, most of the times because your website sucks. So I built something literally made for your website to convert. And I took all the best features that every company on the internet has made. And I made a custom theme. So you can't get this theme anywhere else. This is custom made in-house for like close to 10K, right? I'm not even gonna charge you this. This is like literally comes with my coaching, and I'll help you with if you want to scale your brand, because everything has to be perfect in play, right? I gotta make sure your website's good, your ads, your sales strategy is good, your wholesale system. I gotta figure out everything about you. Again, if you want to apply, guys, I just want you to know that not everyone will be accepted. I'm very limited. Although I helped over 4,000 plus students, it's not like that anymore. I'm only picking the ones I feel are going to be serious, and I'm only going to be picking the ones that actually have a good vision. Either you have a brand or you don't have a brand, but you got to have a good vision. And lastly, if you do book a call, my team doesn't have a lot of time, right? I don't have a lot of time. So I'm really focused on people that are serious. That's it, because I'm running my own brand, and then I'm helping other brands for investment opportunities. So if you guys are interested, just know that if you are interested, you can book a call with me below. But if you don't show up on the call, that's your last chance. I'm not trying to be like mean about it, but I just don't have time to rebook with you. So if you book it, show up. If you can't show up, don't like make sure you pick the date that you can book with. Otherwise, like we won't have a second chance. So it's one call. And then if I feel like you're a good fit, we're gonna move on to the next stage and we're gonna work together. Okay. Um, yeah, and then pretty much like if you want to learn how to do quality like this, shots like this, it's all there, right? So for those that want to do more research on who I am and like what my brand is, I'll show you the brand link. Um, just go to bydavidcaller.com on Instagram. So this is my brand here. You can see like here's a video I'll show you quick before we end this. Right. So you can see like, I've been doing this for a long time, and this is what I breathe and live, guys. I've been doing this for 10 years. Like the goal is like a lot of people would do it for like 1 or 2 years and they close down because they don't know what they're doing. I've been doing it for 10 years, so I know something that no one else knows, and I know how to stay relevant and continue growing and scaling. And I do this full time and I travel, right? So at the end of the day, I'm gonna close this up now. If you want to apply, remember you get one chance to book below. Make sure you're available for that date. Put in your calendar, put in your phone reminder, and I'm looking forward to hearing about your idea, your brand, and hopefully I can invest in your company and maybe we can work together. So thanks again, and hope you guys learned a lot. Follow me on Instagram. It's just David Caller, and then my personal is David Caller, and my business is by David Caller. Talk soon.